Get back here. We talked about this. I told you what we're doing today. I recently turned a slice off of this particular piece and made a little dish or plate out of it. And the wood was lighter in the middle and darker on the outside. This seems to be opposite of that. It's 12 inches in diameter. It's 4 inches thick. I'll turn it to about a 1-inch wall, put it in my drying box that I made after watching Rick Turn's video on making one. And because of the magic of editing, you won't wait at all for it to dry. So let's get it mounted up and start turning. I don't think there will be a lot of thought process in this. I want to make a big salad bowl, and hoping it comes out really nice. I would like to give this to our friends who gave me the wood from the tree they had cut down. Got my heater going because it is a little bit cold. I have a freshly sharpened 5/8 swept-back bowl gouge. We're getting about 650 RPMs. So let's start cutting. I think that's good. Let's see if the chuck fits. That will go on there. The angle looks good. So I'll get this off and flip it around, and we'll cut the inside out. Alright, I switched chucks out. Move the tailstock up just to kind of help me hold it, but once the jaws are up close, I'll use it to push it up and get it nice and flat. That tenon is extra big in case it warps. Not that bad, so we'll just go with it. We'll go back to the same 5/8 swept back. Same RPMs, 650, 800, 23 runs good. So I have two long bad areas here, and that one's got a tunnel through it, so it comes up to there, and it's probably a worm. Switch into a 1/2-inch swept back. Okay, that is good there. Let's see what the moisture is. And and we can watch it. 45. 30 there. Alright, I've got a fairly consistent 1 1/16. So I'll get this out of here, and if I can clear a view for my drying box, I'll show you what that looks like. My version of Rick Turn's drying box using things that I had laying around. Okay, it was in the box a full 12 days, and it started at 50%, and it weighed 5 pounds. I checked it on December 1st, and it was at 16%. It weighed 3 pounds 12 ounces. Today is the December 6th, and it weighs 3 pounds 4 ounces, and it's 11%. I'm going to go ahead and mount it up and try to straighten that tenon up so it runs true. Got a little block in my chuck, and I'm going to put a piece of the non-slip material in here. Bring up the tailstock. I have that existing center, which is always handy to have. Let's get this out of the way and see how it runs. Actually, it's just a little warped, not that bad. And that's nice and flat. Let's bring this around, and maybe we can do some finish turning on this, flatten the bottom off, fix the tenon, and get it flipped around. Freshly sharpened 5/8 swept back bowl gouge, and we're doing 820 RPMs. Get a little light on the subject. Okay. Nice dry shavings. What I'm going to do is make sure that tenon is running true. Start with this diamond tool and make sure it's flat on the bottom. Oh, that's really running nice. I switched to a skew chisel so I could cut the angle for the dovetail. Alright, that should be good. Alright, it's all flipped around, and I think I'll go ahead and go over it with the negative rake scraper because I'm happy with the shape. And probably sand it before we hollow the inside out. Okay, it's time to sand, and it's actually pretty smooth, so I'll start with 120. I'll work my way up through 400. I'll be sanding in reverse with the lathe running at 400 RPMs. I'll show you a little bit of the sanding, and when we're done with that, it'll be time to finish hollowing out the inside. Okay, that's actually going to be pretty easy. See you a bit later. It's time to hollow this out, and I haven't decided how thick I want the walls to be because there is this knot on the outside and it comes through on the inside. There's a crack, there's a hole. I will turn and watch what this looks like and decide how far we should go. Got a sharpened up 5/8 bowl gouge, and we're doing about 850 RPMs. Okay, so as I suspected, I've got a substantial hole in that knot. we may have to fill that with something. That goes in there at least 3/8 of an inch. And that would make a really thin wall. Well, this will be interesting figuring out what to do there. Other than that knot, it cuts pretty nice. I'm going to bring you around and show you the knot, then I'll work on it for a while and bring you back. Okay, there is the hole I've been talking about. That's a shame, but you know what? I'm going to do something with it. I'll be back when I figure out what I'm going to do with that. Well, I think the knot looks okay now. I used the fine shavings off of this and some of the black Starbond CA, and I filled it, and it actually looks somewhat like I think the knot would have looked like if it hadn't been decayed in there. I turned it down until it was clean, and I'm at about 3/8 now. So I don't want to cut any deeper until I get this pretty much finished. Once you get down and take that support away, this rim will be harder to turn because there'll be a lot of vibrations going on. Freshly sharpened negative rake scraper, and we'll just go over that a little bit. And there's the knot. Doesn't take much to dull that thing when you go across a hard knot and CA glue. But actually that looks pretty good. I think I can sand that. Now let's get set up and cut the rest of it away. Continue with the 5/8 swept back bowl gouge and remove most of what we have there. 350 RPMs. That's about 3/8 down to here now. And we're done down to there. And we're done there. We're plenty done there. We're getting close to 1/4 of an inch. I think I'll go over it with a negative rake scraper. When we're done with this, it'll be time to sand. Alright, I believe I'm ready to sand. I do have a little bit of tear out in 2 spots. I'm hoping I can get that sanded out. I'll start with 80 grit and work my way up to 400. I'll sand with the lathe running forward at about 400 RPMs. And I'll turn my dust collector on so it'll get noisy. I do sand forward on the inside, and I like to sand in reverse on the outside. I recently put a video out showing why I like to sand in reverse. And I actually use the outside of this bowl here for doing it. So let's get going on it, and I'll see you when it's time to put a finish on it. Alright, it's time to put the finish on. I've decided to use General Finishes wood bowl finish, formerly known as their salad bowl finish, and it's supposed to be food safe, and I'd like to keep this turning that way because it's going to be a gift. My plan is to just wipe it on. I don't know how it's going to dry with this cold weather, but I've had good luck with it drying most of the time. This will soak in real fast, and it'll take multiple coats, I'm pretty sure. It's as simple as that. I'm just going to show you putting it on the outside because you can see it a lot better that way. And that is very, very pretty walnut. So that's going to be the process, and I'll see you when we're all done with the finish and time to remove the tenon. Okay, time to remove the tenon. I've got a big block in my chuck and some of the padded material. We'll see how well this runs, and it really runs nice. About as good as you can get. So let's get a 1/2-inch bowl gouge, and we'll just start cutting most of it away. And let's make sure this is flat. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get this sanded up, and I'll come back and we'll cut the nub off. I sanded all of this up, and I went over it with Acks abrasive paste, and then I used friction polish on it, and I think it looks pretty nice. And I flattened this out a little bit. All I need to do now is take the nub off. I do still have a bit of cutting to do, so we're about 450 RPM. This wood is actually pretty soft. Gotta slow down to 200 RPMs. Oh, it just stopped. Okay, I just need to sand this up and we're done. I may be able to get this delivered in time. Okay, it's all done. And I think this is a really pretty piece of English walnut. Especially over here. Here's that really hard knot that I had to deal with. But here's some more of that light wood and the dark wood, and it has this beautiful grain in between it. I think it's really pretty. There's the inside. I think that looks equally as pretty with that marbling wood right here again. And here's the back side of that knot, which I filled with sawdust and black CA, and it really looks just like the knot does on the outside. It finished 11 inches in diameter. It's 3 1/4 inches tall, and the base is 7 1/4, and that's what the base looks like. I used General Finishes wood bowl finish on it, and then I went over it with Acks abrasive paste and polish. I didn't record the part with the abrasive paste because I'm sort of rushing myself to get this finished today, because I want to take it over to our friends who gave me the wood and surprise them with that, and today's her birthday, so I think that'll be a real nice surprise. This was a lot of fun to turn. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And for those of you who are, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment. I read them all. And if you can share this video, it really helps the channel grow. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.